Hello friends and welcome back. Have you ever been logged out of your phone because it wouldn't recognize your fingerprint, or ever been at a crowded ATM and your bank card gets rejected for no reason? Well, these are examples of identification systems making mistakes, and today we will understand in details how we measure those mistakes. So without wasting any time, grab a notepad and let's begin. So, whenever a system tries to figure out who you are, there's a chance it might get it wrong, right? We use three key metrics to track these errors, which are false acceptance rate, FAR, false rejection rate, FRR, and crossover error rate, CER. These terms might sound familiar if you have heard about biometrics like fingerprint scanners or facial recognitions, but these error rates and metrics also applies to other identification systems. False rejection rate. A false rejection occurs when an authentication system does not authenticate a valid user. This is also known as false negative authentication. The ratio of false rejections to valid authentications is called the false rejection rate, and it's sometimes referred to as type 1 error. For example, suppose you have registered a fingerprint and used it for authentication previously, but when you try to use your fingerprint to authenticate today, the system incorrectly rejects your fingerprint, indicating it isn't valid. The FRR measures how often a system incorrectly rejects valid users. How we can calculate false rejection rate? Suppose number of valid authentication attempts is 500 and number of false rejection is 5, then FRR will be 1%. Higher false rejection rate means more legitimate users are being denied access, which can be frustrating and inconvenient, and a lower FRR indicates a more accurate system in correctly identifying and authenticating valid users. Next is false acceptance rate. A false acceptance occurs when an authentication system authenticates someone incorrectly, who should not be granted access. This is also known as false positive authentication. The ratio of false acceptances to the number of total authentication attempts, valid and invalid, is known as false acceptance rate, and it is sometimes referred to as type 2 error. Suppose you do not have access to server room in your company's building. Your credentials are not registered in access control system for the server room. However, when you use your access card to authenticate, the system mistakenly recognizes you and grants you access to the server room. This incorrect authentication is called a false positive or a false acceptance. False acceptance rate measures how often an authentication system incorrectly grants access to unauthorized users. What is the formula to calculate false acceptance rate? Number of false acceptances divided by total number of authentication attempts, valid and invalid. Suppose total number of authentication attempts are 500 and number of false acceptances 2. Multiply by 100, you will get 0.4% rate, indicating that 0.4% of the time unauthorized users are incorrectly accepted. A lower false acceptance rate means the system is more secure in correctly rejecting unauthorized users, right? Most devices have a sensitivity adjustment. When a device like biometric is too sensitive, false rejections or false negatives are more common. When it is not sensitive enough, false acceptance, false positives are more common. You can compare the overall quality with the crossover error rate, also known as equal error rate. This picture shows the FRR and FAR percentages when a device is set to different sensitivity levels. As you can all see in this picture, as sensitivity increases, moving to the right on the x-axis, the false acceptance rate decreases. But why? Because a more sensitive system is less likely to accept imposters as genuine users, right? And if sensitivity decreases, moving to the left on the x-axis, the false acceptance rate increases. A less sensitive system may fail to detect imposters more frequently, right? And if you look at false rejection rate, as sensitivity increases, the false rejection rate also increases, because a more sensitive system may reject legitimate users more often. And if sensitivity decreases, false rejection rate decreases as well. I hope now you are able to understand how these are connected, right? The point where both curves intersect is the CER, which is crossover error rate. At this equilibrium point, false acceptance rate and false rejection rate are equal. Crossover error rate is used as a standard assessment value to compare the accuracy of different devices. Devices with lower CERs are more accurate than devices with higher CERs. So, it's not necessary and often not desirable to operate a device with the sensitivity set at the CER level. For example, an organization may use facial recognition system to allow or deny access to a secured area, because they want to ensure that unauthorized individuals are never granted access. In this case, the organization would set the sensitivity very high, so there is little chance of false acceptance or false positive. This may result in more false rejections or false negatives, but a false rejection is more acceptable than a false acceptance in this scenario, right? So guys, this is all we have for today. I hope now you have understood what is false acceptance rate and false rejection rate, and how crossover error rate is used to compare the accuracy of different devices. If you found this video insightful, please share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Consider joining me on LinkedIn. See you soon with another topic, another video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.